Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
So we're out here doing a sudden impact mock crash for HL Bourgeois High School. It's going to be for their junior and senior classes. Their prom's going to be coming up in May, so this is a great time to show them the consequences that can come when somebody chooses to drive impaired, drive distracted, or not wear their seatbelt in the vehicle. So we have some great student actors that are going to be participating. We also got some local first responding partners out here, fire department, coroner's office, people like that, just to help maybe change behavior behind the wheel on the roadway, right? We want these kids to make those right choices while on the road to keep not only themselves safe, but the people that are inside the vehicles with them safe too. So hopefully we can maybe change some behaviors, maybe save a life doing this, and just show them what could happen when somebody makes a bad choice on the roadway. So the Sudden Impact program has been going on for many years. We hit nearly every single high school within Terrebonne Parish and almost Lafourche Parish as well. This is the first mock crash at HL Bourgeois in a while. We kind of had Hurricane Ida come through and other different things. So this is be a great opportunity for the, like I said, the high school students to be able to see what some of these consequences are behind the wheel.
So Terrebonne General, with the Sudden Impact Program, we've partnered. It was actually created in a partnership with University Medical Center and Louisiana Highway Safety Commission. So they created the Sudden Impact Program, and they just kind of spread it out to different troops in Louisiana. And us at Terrebonne General, we decided to partner with them to bring awareness to impaired driving, distracted driving. Ultimate goal is to decrease those injuries from something that's so preventable like impaired driving or distracted driving, whether they're using their cell phone, maybe they're eating, maybe they're changing the song, and so forth. So we're just hoping to decrease the amount of injuries and fatalities in our youth and our overall community.
Bayou has been happy to participate with the state police every time they've done it in our district. Today, our fire truck will be extricating one of the patients and assisting with patient care. And our new ambulances will actually be transporting the patients. So this is the first time our ambulances are participating in the drill with state police. We spend a lot of time in the schools with fire prevention. They get to see the other side from fire of everything we do with medical wrecks, car wrecks, extrication. The fire department now is much more than just a fire service. We serve the community in multiple ways, and the students get to see that with these type of drills.
We're here today for this mock trial, MVA trial, to hopefully prevent crashes or lives being taken that we have to unfortunately see on scene at a later date. So I'm privileged to be here along with my co-workers, PJ Aldridge and Landon Polero. We're hoping that we can do this as a community to save lives. So thank you for allowing us to be here.
I'm a huge advocate for the Sudden Impact mock crash event. Teenagers don't have a developed brain. They don't understand the long-term consequences and sometimes even the short-term consequences that come along with car crashes, whether they're the victim of the crash, whether they're the perpetrator of the crash. They don't understand what comes along with that. And that's understandable. I know me personally as a teenager, I didn't think that anything like that could happen to me where I could die, a friend of mine can die, go to jail for a very long time. And so we want to try to get students to understand that these things unfortunately can happen. And we want to try to prevent it as much as possible. It's hard to get them to understand that. Just telling them isn't going to make them understand. And so sometimes you have to give a realistic depiction of what that looks like to try to make an impact on their lives. And I think that this event definitely did that.
This is a continuation. It's meant to have the presentation your 10th grade year whenever you're learning to drive, so that you can know the ins and outs of distracted driving. Today you'll see the mock crash. This is meant for juniors. However, because we're just starting to implement this, we have our seniors with us as well. And then your senior year will eventually have the mock trial. So this is meant to be a 3-year continuation. The point of this is not to scare you. It's not to traumatize you. It's meant to give you some reality. So unfortunately, crashes do happen and they can be avoidable. And this is meant to give you a realistic depiction of what that's supposed to look like. If you're anything like me, when I'm uncomfortable, I joke, I laugh, I do silly things. If you start to do that, if you start to get emotional, if you, for whatever reason, decide you can't stay here, whether it's your emotions or not, please just quietly get your belongings, stand up, and just talk to an adult before you enter the building. Okay? So let's just please respect this event. Let's give it the dignity and the respect that it deserves. And I do want to thank all of the community members that are here. We have lots of firefighters, first responders, police from different departments, doctors, nurses that are here. And they're doing this for you guys. And the point of this is if we can save one life, it'll be worth it.
My name is Trooper Thomas Goss, and I'm the Public Information Officer from Lafayette area. Guys, last year in this state, 807 deaths. 807. That's every 3 minutes there's a crash. Every 7 minutes somebody gets injured. And I'm not talking about a broken hand or something minor. I'm talking about lifelong injuries for the rest of their life. Who's going to take care of you when you can't feed yourself, when you can't walk, when you can't change your own diaper? Because that's what we're talking about. That's the severity we're talking about. I know that the tendency is going to be to want to laugh or something uncomfortable, but I need you to understand the reality of what we see on a daily basis. Just a couple of months ago, we did a class at a high school. 2 weeks after that, one of the kids sitting in that class was killed in a crash. He was wearing his seatbelt. His uncle sitting next to him was not. Goes off the road, flips over at least 3 times. What killed him? His uncle. His uncle. Every time the car would flip, he would hit. Every time the car would flip, he would hit. I want you to put yourself in this situation. You got prom coming up. Seniors, if you're 18, you're going to be treated as an adult. Big boy jail. That's what we're trying to prevent. Put yourself in this situation and ask yourself, what would I do if that were me and this happens? Just keep that in mind.
It's a normal Friday night. People are returning from events, going to functions, and starting the weekend early. Cars are traveling in every direction. Headlights are lighting the roadway. Music is up. Everyone is laughing when you hear brakes, screeching, and a loud noise similar to a small explosion. You hit your brakes, startled, pull the shoulder, and realize the horrific sound was 2 cars just involved in a violent high-speed collision at the intersection of Highway 311 and Savannah Road. That sound will resonate with you for years. As you begin to run toward the cars, as there is no possible way someone is not injured, as you run, the glass is crunching under your feet. The cars are crushed like cans, but there is no movement, sounds or screams coming from either car. You have no idea what you're about to endure, but this picture is burned in your memory forever. You dial 911 trying to identify your whereabouts and screaming for help to the operator. Emergency vehicles are en route, but at this time there are no sirens to be heard. Not even in the distance, and the golden hour of trauma has already started. Time is ticking. The driver of the Nissan Altima is Yasmin. She and her passenger, Cadence, were drinking at a house party after the high school prom. As she approached the red light, Yasmin was texting her mother to let her know she was on her way. Just a simple OMW on her phone. A simple, easy text. According to a witness, it was evident that she was not going to stop. There was no braking, as if she didn't even see the red light. The cell phone distraction and impairment are a fatal yet preventable combination. Her passenger screamed and Yasmin swerved to avoid the other vehicle, but it was impossible. The impairment increased her reaction time and decreased her reflexes, resulting in a side impact collision. Yasmin was wearing a seatbelt, escaping severe injury, allowing her to exit the vehicle. Yasmin notices Cadence, her front seat passenger, is partially ejected through the front windshield, not moving and not responding.
What happened? What happened? I don't remember anything. Where am I? I don't know.
Without a seatbelt, Cadence, the front seat passenger, was thrown through the windshield. Her eyes are open, but she is not responding, and Yasmin screams. Her only chance to survive a crash of this severity was to lessen the force on her body by wearing a seatbelt. At this point, Yasmin cannot do much other than talk to her and offer her support. Although she is waiting for medical assistance, there is no sirens to be heard.
Wake up, please! Cadence! Come on, stop playing! Wake up, please! Cadence! Oh my god! Where's my phone? I have to call 911. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Oh my god! Where's my phone? Cadence, wake up, please!
Emily and Miguel were also on their way home from the same party after the prom. Emily refused to allow Miguel to drive as she witnessed Miguel consume several drinks at the party. Due to seatbelt usage, Emily is also free of severe injury, conscious and able to get out of the car. But Miguel is trapped. Miguel continues screaming and asking Emily questions, but he is stuck. The golden hour of trauma continues to tick, and there are still no sirens to be heard. In many cases, emergency personnel must drive several miles to reach the scene of a crash. So the first person may not arrive for 10 to 15 minutes. Getting to the scene can be hectic. Trooper First Class Brennan is the first to arrive on the scene. It is a disaster. Vehicles crushed, bystanders pulling him in directions, glass everywhere. Passengers are hysterical. Neighbors are now at the scene. It is chaotic, and he clearly, to the emergency, evaluates all the conditions. Brennan notices the absence of skid marks from Yasmin's car, indicating that she clearly did not try to stop. He assesses the situation. He soon realizes that he cannot do this alone. This is a multi-person response, so he calls for backup.
C100, Region 2, go ahead and give me fire. I need extrication. I got one pin in the vehicle, got one ejected, barely breathing. Also give me EMS from Route 2. We got a head-on collision. It ain't looking too good. All right, hang on. All right, look, we got it. Stop. We got help coming, all right? So, what happened? Tell me what happened. Hey, stop, not at the same time, all right? You go over there, I'm gonna talk to you in a second, all right? Tell me what happened. Okay. All right. Okay, stop. Take a breath, all right? I want to ask some questions. Were you wearing your seatbelt? All right? Were you driving distracted, texting or anything like that? Okay, so where you were coming from? So she was drinking at the party? Okay, so you were going through the green, you had the green light, right? And she T-boned you? Okay, all right. Hang on, I'm gonna come back and talk to you in a second. All right. What's your name? Yasmin, all right. Tell me what happened, Yasmin.
Cross the line.
Okay, stop. So you're coming back, what party were you coming from?
Prom party at the house.
Okay, so you were texting your mom, so
Yes, we were on our way home.
you're driving distracted, is that what you're telling me?
No, I was just texting her. I was on our way home.
Okay. Did you at least have your seatbelt on?
Yes.
So you had your seatbelt on, but you were texting. Were you speeding?
No.
No? Did you even attempt to brake? I don't even see no skid marks out
I
here.
did. I promise.
So why you ran the red light?
I didn't. I don't even remember.
All right. Hang on, we got medics on the scene. Let's go check on these people real quick.
The Bayou Fire Department EMS arrives on the scene. They assess the injuries of the victims. They will first assess the most severe. Cadence's injuries were too severe. She is no longer breathing and no longer has a pulse. Paramedics determine that Cadence is dead and dispatch the coroner. When Emily hears the notification to the coroner, she becomes hysterical, realizing a classmate is dead. There is no immediate effort to remove Cadence's body from the scene. Her lifeless body remains untouched until the evidence is gathered for investigation. Friends, family, and classmates in the immediate future are going to receive horrific news. We are hoping that the notification is delivered from emergency personnel. However, social media often results in family members receiving tragic news prematurely and in an insensitive manner.
C-100, Region 2, go ahead and get me corner around. We got one confirmed fatality out here. Confirmed fatality.
As the golden hour continues to tick,
So look,
EMS personnel administer medical attention to Miguel as he is the most critical. While addressing Miguel's medical needs, they determine that he has signs of a head injury, but are unable to remove him from the wreckage. And further will require the fire department and rescue unit to assist. He remains conscious and in great amount of pain. He is scared, he is screaming, and his injuries seem life-threatening. When addressing Emily and Yasmin, they note very mild bruising and scratches to their face. This is the difference a seatbelt can make. Two people are walking and talking, while one unrestrained passenger is severely injured and the other dead.
All right, what's your name again?
Yasmin.
All right, come over here. So, you said you come from this party, right? Your friend over here said she saw you at the party and you had some drinks over there. So,
It was only like 1 or 2.
only one or two what? Beers?
Beers.
Mixed drink? Beers? All right. So it didn't cross your mind to call anybody or get a sober ride?
I wasn't even drunk.
You said you had something to drink though?
That doesn't mean I was drunk.
So let's go through it. You ran a red light, you were texting, you were speeding, you weren't paying attention. You're telling me that you had some drinks at this party. So what caused this crash?
I don't know. I don't remember anything.
Something happened, right?
I don't know. She's lying.
And look, as I'm talking, I'm noticing the odor of alcohol in your breath. You're stumbling around, you're slurring your words. So you know what that means. We're going to do a sobriety test to see how impaired you
I
are.
don't understand why we have to do this.
It's part of the process. So don't worry about what's happening over here. I want you to come over here and see this line on the ground.
Yeah.
I want you to stand right here, all right? So go ahead and look at me. I'm going to check your eyes for impairment. So I need you to follow the tip of my finger. I'm going to move it left and right. Do not move your head. Just follow the tip of my finger. Go up and down. Hey, follow the instructions, all right? All right. Next test, I'm going to need you to walk and turn. So what I want you to do is put your left foot down on that line, put your right foot in front, touching the heel of the toe. Hey, Focus on one, all right?
Okay.
So when I tell you to start, I want you to take 9 steps in a straight line, touching the heel to toe. You're gonna count each step out loud. When you get to the end, you're gonna take small steps, you're gonna turn around, and again, you're gonna take 9 steps back to restart it. You understand the instructions?
Yeah.
So you understand everything completely?
Yeah, I think.
All right, you can go ahead and start now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
All right, so the last one I need you to do is a one-leg stand. So go again, put your feet together, put your arms down by your side. Whenever I tell you to start, whatever foot you want, you're gonna raise about 6 inches off the ground. You're gonna balance on one leg, and you're gonna count out loud. 1001, 1002. You keep going through the numbers until I tell you to stop. Yes, you have to do it, all right? This is part of the process, so I need you to listen to me.
Okay.
So you understand the instructions?
Yes.
You go ahead and start now.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1006, 1007.
All right, you can stop. Turn around for me. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Hey, stop. All right, you're under arrest for DWI, vehicular homicide, vehicular injury. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can be used against you.
Yasmin completes the test. It is obvious that she is impaired. The trooper arrests Yasmin for DWI. Yasmin will also submit to a blood test. She is booked with vehicular homicide and first-degree negligent injury, 2 very serious criminal arrests. As the trooper transports Yasmin to the Terrebonne Parish Jail, you can hear the sirens of the Bayou Fire Department in the distance. You are witnessing the cliche of a seatbelt can be life or death come to reality. The golden hour of trauma continues to tick as Miguel remains trapped in the vehicle. The door must be cut open to safely remove Miguel from the vehicle. The tool the rescue personnel are using is a Hearst rescue tool, commonly referred to as the jaws of life. The spreaders can exert enough force to cut through metal. Using the necessary tool places the victim and rescuers in danger. However, they are highly trained in this extrication process. After the vehicle frame is cut away from Miguel's body using the jaws of life, he will then be placed on a backboard with spinal precautions to keep him safe and his vertebrae in line. Trooper Brennan arrives at the Terrebonne Parish Jail, where Yasmin will be processed and booked. Yasmin's anxiety is now very high as she is realizing that her decisions are responsible for Miguel's injuries and the death of her good friend Cadence. Yasmin's mom intercepts them when they arrive at lockup.
What are you doing?
Hang on.
What is
So-
going on?
You Yasmin's mom?
Yes.
All right, first let me introduce myself. I'm Trooper Ross Brennan, Louisiana State Police, all right? The reason
You saved her. She's good.
hang on. The reason I have Yasmin, all right, she was driving home from their prom on Highway 311. She ran the red light on Span Road and she T-boned another vehicle. The vehicle that she hit, serious injury inside the vehicle, right? Hit on the passenger side. Her passenger was not wearing a seatbelt. He ejected through the front windshield. Hang on. Ejected through the front windshield, and look, fatal injuries. So we got one serious injuries and we got fatal injuries. And Yasmin was driving that vehicle and caused this crash to happen. I found that she was driving impaired. We did the sobriety test that she failed. Also said that she was texting and driving and speeding as well.
Yasmin.
I didn't do it.
You
I only
drove
had
the
like
car.
1 or 2.
No way. No way.
Yes.
How many times did I tell you if you're gonna drink, you call me and I will come get you. I don't care where you are.
But you were sleeping. I didn't want to wake you.
Do you not see me awake now?
I didn't do it. They shouldn't have called you. I was fine.
You are not fine. You have 3 felonies. What am I supposed to do about this?
So look, what I would recommend, get into contact with a criminal lawyer. Like I said, she got some serious felonies. She got DWI, vehicular homicide, also vehicular injury, all right? And some other charges too with the texting and speed. So when we gotta go do the breathalyzer test inside. She'll be able to call you from there. We gotta go finish handling business on the inside.
How am I supposed to? I
do
can't
it.
even look at Cancer's mom.
Due to the severity of the injuries, the victim will be transported to the only level 1 trauma center in the region, University Medical Center. The trauma center has the resources and services needed to rapidly treat multi-system trauma. The serious head injury, along with chest, internal, and orthopedic injuries sustained by Miguel, the trauma system has been activated. The team is anxiously awaiting the arrival of Miguel, and an announcement is made overhead by the provider.
Attention trauma team. There is a motor vehicle crash en route. There's 2 patients in it. Bayou EMS is bringing in. Arrival time should be in about 6 minutes. Patient number 1 is a 17-year-old male who was an unrestrained passenger in and out of consciousness on the way here.
Immediate life-saving measures are necessary for Miguel to survive. The assessment is fast, as trauma is time-sensitive.
Okay, let's get ready for an IV that needs to be inserted. We need to make radiology, the SAT CAT scan from to toe, CMP.
The entire team works tirelessly on Miguel to treat his deteriorating condition. As Dr. Bergeron notices shallow breathing on an unconscious patient, she chooses to intubate and place him on a ventilator for support. Miguel is not answering questions and has a delayed response to painful stimuli. It is obvious to the staff that he has a significant head injury. The staff will move quickly for a CAT scan of the head on their way to the operating room. An emergent life-saving procedure will follow to remove the blood and pressure in his brain, which was caused from violently striking his head. The team is working against time. Miguel is diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. While undergoing surgery, doctors will place a bolt in the skull to measure the residual pressures in the head. His dad hasn't even arrived to the hospital yet, but it is necessary to move fast to the operating room. Dr. Bergeron has been notified of the arrival of his dad, and she will be ready to deliver the devastating news. As they wait, his father recalls his last words to him. Be careful, and I love you.
Okay. Hi, are you the father? Hi. I'm so sorry, and we're doing everything we can at this moment. There's very significant injuries. Legs are broken, and I think we have some internal things as well. We're trying our best right now. We're doing everything possible we can. We're doing everything we can. The legs are broken, but honestly, the biggest thing right now we need to worry about is he has a traumatic brain injury. We had to intubate him because he went unconscious, so he has a ventilator breathing for him at the moment, and we're taking him to the operating room. He was not wearing a seatbelt. He was not. He was not wearing the seatbelt. No, look, it's okay. I know you're in shock, and I get it. There's a lot going on. We're doing everything possible to save him at this moment. The biggest thing is that we have to make sure, the traumatic brain injury, we have to make sure he's getting the oxygen that he needs, because if things aren't done at this time, long-term damage can be done. Yeah, and look, it's something that we don't know. We have to see, is he going to wake up? If he does wake up, can he walk? Does he need to have assistance with eating, a tube put in to eat? Lots of things that we have to assess, and it takes time.
You just understand that you know everything.
I promise you, we're doing everything possible to save him.
Miguel's survival is unknown. The brain will continue to swell for at least 48 hours, so he will remain in very critical condition. Traumatic brain injuries result in life-altering changes. If he survives, he will need to learn basic fine motor skills again, like eating, talking, and walking. He will be in physical therapy for years to come just to rebuild his muscle strength. In speech therapy, he will learn how to talk again and formulate sentences. His dad is devastated and just wishes he could turn back time. How could a prom turn so tragic? The answer is easy. It was not the prom. It was the decision made while getting behind the wheel of a car. We now focus on the classmate that did not survive. Cadence's lifeless body remains on scene covered. The Terrebonne Parish Coroner's Office is now en route to confirm the death and prepare her corpse body for transport to the morgue. The Coroner's Office witnesses preventable tragedies daily involving decisions behind the wheel. It is difficult knowing that a more responsible decision could have resulted in a completely different outcome. As they remove Cadence's wallet, they notice the HL Bourgeois ID. What started out as a fun night at prom will be remembered by all as a tragedy. Lives destroyed by dangerous decisions. A 17-year-old student should never be placed in a body bag. However, this is only the beginning. Who will make the dreadful decision of the clothing that she wears at her funeral? Is the ceremony private, or should the student body attend? Closed casket or open? Who cleans her locker out, or do we leave it alone with a cross on the outside with the date of April 12th, 2024? Do we call her name next year at graduation? The empty chair at graduation will be a painful sight for everyone. Remember, this was preventable. No one should ever have to make those decisions when there are other options. Decisions have a lifetime of consequences. While everyone else from the prom gets to go home, Cadence's body has been transported to the coroner's office. Despite risky situations that endanger law enforcement's lives, the absolute hardest part of their job must follow. State police must prepare for death notification to Cadence's family. When we say prepare, there are no correct words or guidelines to do so. This is a 17-year-old, a daughter, a sister, a granddaughter, a best friend. Trooper Brennan and Sergeant James Anderson with Louisiana State Police are handling the death notification. While en route, Trooper Brennan tries to find the right words. What will they say? How will they approach the family? Because it never happens the way it is planned. No matter how many times they have done a death notification, there is no easy way. It's just that real. As they approach the home, it is quite dark outside. They notice a small light on the porch left on by Cadence's mother. Ironically, she was waiting for her to arrive home. They knock at the front door, and Cadence's mother approaches. She sees two troopers, opens the door quickly, but is confused at their arrival.
Can I help you, officers?
Look, I'm Trooper Ross Brennan with State Police Sergeant James Anderson. Are you Cadence's mother?
Yes, is everything okay?
Look, let's go inside. Go ahead, have a seat. We'll kind of talk a little bit. So we are currently investigating a crash that happened 311 Savannah Road. Cadence and them, they were coming back from a prom party. Am I understand right? Well, so she was a passenger in the vehicle. The driver that was driving, speeding, texting, driving impaired, and Cadence was not wearing a seatbelt. During the collision, she was thrown through the front windshield, and look, horrible for me to even tell you, but Cadence died in the crash.
No, that can't be. No. She was supposed to be home 30 minutes ago, and I just called her and talked to her. Like, look, I can show you. I can call her right now.
We positively ID'd her with her phone. I mean, look, I even have her phone here.
No.
Yeah,
No.
It's ringing. I have her phone. Like I said, we possibly ID'd her. I'm so sorry to deliver this news to you. So the driver who was driving the vehicle that Cadence She was arrested for DWI, vehicular homicide, and vehicular injury, and some other charges. She's currently at Terrebonne Jail. The vehicle that they struck, there was severe injury in there. I don't know if he's going to make it or not, but again, so sorry, man. Look, we got some paperwork we're going to have to give you. We'll come back in a second. Just hang tight with us, all right?
Trooper Brennan and Sergeant Anderson have tried their hardest to break the tragic news to Cadence's mother as gently as possible. They offer their condolences. After consoling Cadence's mother, the troopers depart with great sadness, questioning the decision to speed, run a red light, text, drive impaired, and lack of seatbelts. It's just not worth it. They witness the pain endured by family, and this is only the beginning. The funeral, the family, the friends, classmates, and the others involved in the crash. As they exit, they notice a family portrait above the fireplace. They can't help but to stop for a moment and think about how preventable the entire situation was for all parties involved. Another teen injury, another teen death.
Here lies my best friend, Cadence Nicole Allen. Her spirit and laughter will be remembered forever. She was known for her bright personality and her friendly attitude. To know Cadence was to love her. Cadence loved her family, and she loved being the center of their universe. She considered her mother her best friend and made sure everybody knew. She loved her country, and she was already committed to her future for the National Army Guard because it gave her purpose and the opportunity to serve her community. She loved all animals, especially her cat Nala, and treated her own pets as though they were siblings. Cadence was also a natural leader, and she was known for giving tough love and solid advice to her friends whenever they needed it, even if they didn't ask for it. She was certainly left her mark on the world. Her journey may have been cut short, but her life will always shine bright in the hearts of those who loved her. May she rest in eternal peace.
Motor vehicle crashes are not simple. They are violent events, and the effects are far greater than the average person can comprehend, usually due to a decision to take a risk. Crashes severely injure and kill people every single day. They are preventable and result from poor decisions. Crashes are permanent and unexpected. They do not discriminate. As HL Bourgeois students, this could result from our decision as soon as tonight. Now, what will your decisions be? Because you are always one decision away from a different life. So, what y'all see today was a reenactment, right? But if you think that this exact scene will not happen tonight on our roadways, you are sadly mistaken. This happens more often than you think. And it's not until you are affected by it that you really start to think about it. I personally buried my daughter. 2 years later, I received the same phone call and buried my husband. So yes, you do have to pick what they're going to wear for their funeral, who's going to do the eulogy. Not until you are making those decisions will you realize how this could affect you. It's not worth it. That one decision is not worth it because it will follow you for the rest of your life.
Let me tell you, Almost 1,000 people died just on our state roadways from motor vehicle crashes. That's your entire student body and even some more because somebody made a choice on the roadway, whether that's a choice to drink and drive, speed, not wear a seatbelt. Just think if somebody would have made a better choice, those family members would have went back home to their loved ones, right? They wouldn't have been an obituary in the newspaper. I wouldn't have to do a news release and talk to the media about it because somebody made a choice. Sometimes their choices affect other innocent people on the roadway. So y'all all have the responsibility. Y'all drive on the road, sometimes young, you think you're invincible. But things can happen fast when you're not paying attention on the roadway or making a bad choice, right? And I never want to have to actually go knock on one of y'all family's door to tell them that you're not coming home because somebody made a choice on the roadway, right?
Nothing kills more of you than motor vehicle crashes. The number one factor in those crashes for people your age, excessive speed, followed by distracted driving, followed by impaired driving. Although distracted driving leads the cause of serious or fatal crashes, for your age group, it's excessive speed. And make no mistake, it's often a combination of these factors that leads to tragedies like you saw here today. So I'm going to share a story with you. It's a short story, don't worry. Her mother has asked me to share the story with you every opportunity that I get because she doesn't want you to go through what her daughter went through, and she doesn't want your parents to go through what she had to go through. 17-year-old Mercedes Garcia, homecoming queen at her school, star athlete at her school, is driving to get her hair done for senior night, senior football game. She's talking on a cell phone. Is she breaking the law? Yeah, it's illegal to be on a cell phone or use any handheld device if you're under the age of 18. So she's breaking the law. Laws are not always convenient, they're not always fun, but they're designed to keep you and I safe. So Mercedes is talking on the phone. She starts to run off the road. She tries to recover. She can't. She's traveling 77 in a 55-mile-an-hour speed zone. Mercedes' vehicle rolls over. Mercedes isn't wearing a seatbelt. She's critically injured, flown to a hospital in Houston, where she dies the very next day. Her friend Roderick, who was in the car with her that day, had his seatbelt on and was with me on December 5th of that year when I spoke to the students at Iowa High School about the importance of not driving distracted and wearing a seatbelt. The hardest thing we do is knock on someone's door and tell them someone they care about is never coming home again. Please, don't put Trooper Brennan, myself, or any of the other state troopers or first responders in that position of having to knock on the door of your parents, your caregiver, and tell them you're never coming home again. Make good decisions. We care about you. We want you to enjoy your prom. Thank you very much.
I know that you're teenagers. Believe it or not, all of your teachers and faculty, we were teenagers too. I know what it's like to think that I'm invincible, that this can never happen to me, whether it's dying in a car crash, whether it's being the person that causes the crash, the long-term consequences that come along with that, and even if you survive it, the long-term consequences that come with that as well. So I appreciate that you paying attention to this, taking this seriously, because the unfortunate fact is that it can happen to you. And we want to do everything that we can to make sure that it doesn't.